Greetings and welcome to this week's episode of Vampire the Masquerade Beyond Armageddon. Before we begin, I'd like to make a few announcements. First, we are proud to announce that Sabbat the Schism is officially out now. Not only does it delve into the history and lore of the sect, it opens up multiple role-playing options for fans of the game, including new playable clans, elder level powers, and much more. You can find your own copy of Sabbat the Schism in the link below. Second, I'd like to thank RS Experiments, aka Mark, our local musical talent, for graciously providing the custom music you've been enjoying so far, including our awesome main theme song called Haven Dweller. If you enjoy any of the music used during the stream and you'd like to hear more, you can find a full library of Mark's work by clicking the link below to RS Experiments' SoundCloud page. Lastly, if you enjoy tonight's session and you'd like to see more, be sure to follow both our channels. You can catch us live most Sundays at 7 p.m. CET by tuning in to twitch.tv/RSAGames, or check out all our recorded sessions at RSA Games on YouTube. Links below. Remember to like, subscribe, and be sure to leave us feedback and suggestions in the comments below. We hope you enjoy the session, and without further ado, let us delve into the world of darkness in tonight's episode of Vampire the Masquerade Beyond Armageddon. Welcome. As the sun sets and the pack awakens in the makeshift haven, surrounded with stale air, smelling of a dry, decayed stench of blood, Jack's phone vibrates, and as he pulls it up to examine it, he reads it and places it down. As he sits up, he notices that Serena and Larry are already up, and Jim seems to have left for the night, tending to some business. In the meantime, you are also aware that Abel, according to his clan curse, has had to vary the haven he's been using. So he is currently away.
Where is Jim?
Are you asking this out of character or in character?
I'm asking characters, Serena and Larry.
Did Jim say anything about being away? To me?
Not true. Oh,
No, I'm asking the SD.
He simply said that he had some business to take care of. You have a sense that he's indulging in his Toreador obsessions for the night.
He had some business to take care of. I believe he's doing some Toreador shit.
I see.
Nothing to worry about. So, we should be fine.
Well,
Did
this
you?
place is to worry about.
Which place?
This place.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean that I've got a better place.
You've got a better place now?
Not technically me.
Cool.
Yes.
Freya? Johnny?
Yes.
We would be so putting Johnny under attention if we were to do that. Though, again...
He prepared this place before our, let's say, misadventure happened.
Well, I suppose we'd have to move the Schlachter there. And the rest.
Schlachter would be difficult
Why?
because it's penthouse.
Penthouse where?
The west side, Sabbat territory.
Sabbat territory.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then we can just have the Schlachter be in the tours.
We can do that probably.
But we wouldn't be able to get Virgil
Well,
there.
at least one of them can Larry Express.
Well, Virgil can definitely be moved like that. He's of more use in the apartment, so to say. Not too keen on having the Schlachter so far away from the penthouse. They're a bit of a bother like that. Maybe we can sort out something underneath the building. Maybe Larry can have a look around and see if there's any hidden rooms or anything we can take over, you know?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Well, at the very least, we can move some of our books and things like that there.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll think about the Schlachter. Has anybody heard from Abel?
I've gave him instructions how to access it.
What?
The New Haven.
He has been here. Or are you talking about the penthouse?
New Haven.
Well, we're not moving there yet, are we? Well, either way, when Abel arrives, I'll have to speak with you or something. I want to make a trip to Griffith Park.
That's ballsy.
There is an elder there. An elder who practices the green path. Or whatever it is, something that Jalan also practices. that ritual of his, the words and the language bear significant similarity to what I've been studying. And let's just say that if I manage to make good impressions, we'll be able to get maybe like another mansion or a house, and we'll be able to have all the plants outside guarding us. We'll be able to ask them if anybody visited us in the meanwhile or not.
And how bulletproof is this method?
Hmm?
How bulletproof is this method?
Well, how many vampires do you know who can speak to plants?
Except for Tremere. Probably some Tsimisi.
From what I understood, it's a bit different. Well, I guess Dimitri maybe could. Either way, I don't think, given that our enemies are the ones who serve antediluvians, that they have Tremere. And as far as we know, they don't have any Dimitri either. They hate those. So,
What about Tsimisi Kolduns?
do they not still have vicissitude?
I don't know.
Cecil knows Koldunic sorcery.
You can see in Jack's face like the will to not say the word new.
What?
The word new, not knows. Past tense.
Serena either ignores it or doesn't notice it.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it's some Volcavian foresight. Who knows?
Anywho, this we should probably get the stuff.
Well,
Over.
Virgil would have to be brought over there by Larry Express.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps one of the more disobedient Schlachter can go up. It's
I
just
can make
that.
them behave basically like cattle bears.
Well, it's not about that. Well, it's more about the fact that if I leave them in the sewers, what if a mortal goes down into the sewers to fix something for the fan house? You see what I mean? I'm not going to be exactly in reach to deal with that.
So let's just make the one that behaves less sleep. And I
Sleep.
don't think that Sleepy Schlachter is a serious threat to Larry.
Oh, no, you meant to we bring all the Schlachter up into the
We
penthouse.
bring them all. Eventually, we find a way. But the one that behaves less, as in would wreak fucking chaos if we
I
are not here.
suppose I could maybe make the Schlachter airborne.
We have airborne Larry, and I have dominate. Let's
No,
just
no,
be,
no.
let's
I
just go
meant
easier way.
no. I didn't mean right now. I meant I could make the Schlachter eventually airborne.
We'll cross the bridge when we burn it.
No. I mean, if you think it's a good idea to get all the Schlachter up into the penthouse.
Let's just take the one that behaves less, so you can teach it better, I guess.
Fine, yeah, we can do that. I'm going to go look for Virgil, and
I probably remember which Slacta behaves less.
Okay, well, as you look around the room, you essentially reach the the Roomba is complaining.
Technocracy attacks us.
Yes. So as you look around the room, you see the drain in the center of the room. It's common for these freezers to have these drains, so any blood that's spilled from the meat, gets drained straight into the sewers. You essentially approach the drain, and you send a text to Virgil, and a few moments after, you hear two tinks echoing from the drain, and you can speak your message into the drain, and he'll hear it.
We'll be switching our haven to a more secure one. Given your appearance, Larry will be helping you to get there because it's, let's just say, it's a bit inconvenient for you to be able to get up there.
And the others?
Well, the two more behaved ones will be in the sewers. The less behaved one, Jack will be looking after.
I hope you don't mind, but I've taken the liberty of feeding them from time to time, so they acclimate to my presence. If you wish, I can guide them there.
What were you feeding them?
Guess.
Rats?
What I could get.
Very well. I mean, they are, in essence, like on dog level, so yeah, that is. Yeah, so this, and I give him the location. And say to him, I'd probably be more sure of your arrival there if I accompany you there. Not because I don't trust you as a Schlachtes, but because I don't trust our enemies.
I wouldn't worry too much. So long as there's some blood waiting for me there, I think I can manage to get them there safely. My tricks usually work to keep
All right.
even
Very well.
obfuscated intruders away.
Okay. All right. Well, do you remember Kian?
Yes.
He's one of those enemies. He's the one who destroyed the horse.
I'm aware, and he's not immune.
Yes. Very well. Then I'll trust you to do it. This is the location. It's underneath a tall apartment building, so obviously maintenance could be an issue. So, and also when you arrive there, if we make it there a bit later, or while we're sorting out things, if you have a look around and see if there's any unused maintenance rooms or something like that, hidden nooks and crannies, let me know.
Of course. You got it, boss.
Right. Then I'll be expecting you there. Also, be right back, but you guys can continue playing, okay?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, the voice fades, and yeah, you're basically left to your own devices.
I explained to misbehaving Schlachter that they are. Is it she? Was it she back then, or was it he back then?
It's a he and it's one.
Okay. So I explained to him that he is to behave like a fucking log.
The creature seems to be a bit reluctant at first, but doesn't question your command.
Mm-hmm.
It simply sort of like gives this shake, as if it's shaking off fleas for a second, and after a few huffs, it gives you a nod.
Beautiful power of dominate.
Yeah, but also, you know what I like? Is that usually, the Schlacht, like, the Miete keep, like, Schlachter, like, very, is mine, And the
I don't
fact
tell it's mine. I tell it to behave.
no,
Difference.
it's also because like if you guys like every now like for example they respond to Jim better because one time he was the one who gave blood. So if that happens, they'll be more responsive to you guys. So even if I'm not around, you can still use them as for what they're intended to. And I really like it. It's like, because they are technically guard dogs.
Yes.
And
I
soon
just
they will be,
use the
soon
whip
they will be,
instead of the
soon maybe
gun.
they will be flying guard dogs.
Flying chihuahuas.
What's that? Alphabet? What was the name of the green witch? Alphabet.
Yeah. Anyhow. Yeah, we don't have a lot of stuff in this haven. Most of our old stuff was like
So,
moved between containers. by Leo.
so you gather the stuff you do have.
Mhm.
Do you start making your way immediately out?
I don't have sentimental feelings for this place. Amalia?
I gather all the Voldery stuff and check that it's all in place, even though we
Mhm.
haven't used it. But I just double check that the knife, the tablecloth, and the chalice and my books are in place before we leave.
So I believe we had this discussion out of character before, but we'll just for flavor say it now. You unroll the gear, you check everything, and most of the stuff is there. It's just of the knife set that you have planned for Valderies. One of the knives is missing.
Which one?
You know which one.
I mean, the one that Cecil handcrafted, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Strange. Did I? I must have left it in the other building. Need to return for it.
We'll check later.
Also, Serena packs up the box, and you all know that it's a box with Cecil's Earth. It's also wrapped in a dark cloth. And during the last week, in your comings and goings, you would have already gotten used to a thing Serena hasn't done in a while, and that is the fact that she's wearing a coat against which you don't brush yourself against, even accidentally. Because if you do, it stinks like fucking hell, and you're sure it would deal significant damage.
Yeah. I'll
Is
I'll just
Serena
make sure.
wearing morning black at all time now?
I mean, that's funny of you to say that she hasn't been wearing black before.
The only one not wearing black is Larry.
Because he's not wearing
Larry's
anything at
wearing
all.
shit.
Yes.
So yeah,
I'll just make sure that Hunter's sword and Liliana's pendant are not
Mm,
missing.
Wait, so
by
where is this new haven we're going to?
in Sabbat territory, a penthouse, convenient for you.
And where was the old haven we departed from once it got raided?
Other side of LA.
Yeah, it was like here,
Mm-hmm. Now it would be like.
but now we are
here.
in Sabbat territory. Now we're not far from it, because it's like a backup haven Serena organized before.
It was here? Or
It was somewhere in Sabbat territory.
Mm-hmm.
oh, not so far. Okay.
So now we're moving still like within the same territory.
So
Mhm.
you.
Oh, by the way, Miguel.
Mhm.
So quickly asking. So just as a note, can Serena have like during the last week basically ask Marcus to replace her current sports car with something else because it's recognizable,
Mm-hmm.
and B, ask him to provide her some body cams that like basically just record onto a card within themselves?
So, you've been told that the car is, doable, given the contacts that you do have. You could have provided him enough
Yeah,
resources,
I
and
basically
he
would have
himself
given him.
has enough.
Yeah, I would have given him the old cars
Yeah.
so that he basically replaces them with something of the same quality, value,
Well, he even
different.
does you one better. He takes those cars to a chop shop and just reformats them. Even adds some improvements to some of them.
Yeah.
But basically, you
Okay.
get the same cars just with a different skin.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
For the body cams, however, he told you it'll take some time because to get that type of stuff off the books, it does
Well,
take a bit of effort.
Well, what Iris wants is basically something not that noticeable. So,
Yeah.
police obviously wear body cams that are noticeable, but what she wants is something
glasses.
that's,
Yeah, you want a bug
recording
camera.
recording capability, but not smart glasses, because those you have to hook up to your phone and then you have to
Yeah.
fucking crack them and make sure that it doesn't upload anywhere or can be like hacked. No, something that's like like inside.
It still stands.
Kinda
It would
cool.
take a little while to get off the books.
No, like there's like things like a fucking pendant.
Yes, it'll take some time to get off the books because the point is you don't want that purchase to be traced to anywhere that might rouse suspicion. So
Yeah.
he told you it'll take a bit of time, but it's doable. So you don't have them just yet.
Yeah, okay. So here's my plan, guys. So Griffiths Park, after we move, do the quick move, Griffiths Park. And another one is I'd need to do a thing, and that thing is some things that could be quite useful to us. We need to find Jesus. He's fucking shit up for Marcus. And given the way he disappeared off my radar, I believe that he is allied, we know with whom. Because otherwise they can't go off my radar. So, yeah, let's go and then...
What about twins?
What?
Twins.
Who?
Malkavian
Oh, what about your Cami contact?
He should have provided me like some information, right?
Well, let's go to the penthouse and there, okay? So basically, I'd ask Jack to take the sports car, and I'd take the other car, the minibus, armored one, and we'd drive off, and Larry would fly off.
I'll just give a warning that don't exit the car until I do.
Okay, so you'll notice that the new rework of the cars that you've ordered, essentially, not only do the cars look different, but all of the cars have been given. Well, most of the cars have been given blacked out windows. So essentially, unless you want people to know who's in the car, you can just turn off the lights inside the car, and you're basically invisible to the outside world. Just, it's noticeable that you have blackout, tinted windows. So obviously smart usage of this advantage is advised, but yeah. So you pack into your cars and you begin driving there with Larry flying overhead. And eventually you begin to approach the address, and standing by the entrance to the garage in the building is Johnny, smoking like a chimney as usual. And as soon as he sees your cars, he, continues smoking for a bit, just watching the cars approach. He sort of does a lean, trying to see the driver. But obviously, blacked out windows, he, shrugs it off and continues smoking.
I don't think the front windows blacked out would be allowed by law.
Mm-hmm.
In that case, yeah.
Side windows are barely
Yeah.
Back windows are like easy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
back windows are allowed, side windows up to a point, but front windows need to be transparent from outside. And if it's
Yeah,
not
in
like
that
that, you're
case,
more likely to attract attention.
yeah, in that case, he just leans, sees you, and sort of gestures and reaches into his pocket and pulls out what looks like a garage remote. Do you open the window? Do you?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
pull up to
yeah.
him and open the window.
Yeah.
Windows off.
Johnny gestures and tosses it in. Enjoy the flat.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
When I see Johnny, I actually lean out, stop by him, and I ask him a question. I ask him whether, hello, listen, I have a question. Does the building have any, like, service elevators? Or,
Yeah,
like,
you should take your own to the penthouse, and if you need any access below, there is a code in the apartment specifically so you can access the sewers from the basement.
so it's possible to access the sewers from the basement, and there's a service elevator.
Yeah, all code
you-
guarded, so don't you worry.
Okay, do you know about the what's the security measures? Basically,
Your boy there knows about him. You'll see once you get in.
okay,
This
well, no,
apartment
that's
wasn't
not what I
intended
meant.
For us.
Hmm?
This apartment wasn't intended for us. It was intended for Vicus.
I see. I
Security
see.
is secure.
No, that's not what I meant. I meant, do I need to do anything if, let's say, I want to get my Schlachter into the, like, through the service lift up or down? Do I
Again,
need to?
you got codes for the basement with the sewer entrance. No staff are even allowed there, so yeah.
Okay, and no cameras, so silence of blood friendly.
Well, your boy there has a code to turn off the cameras.
Got it.
He also has a
Okay.
code to actually go to the penthouse. If you just press the top floor, you'll
see.
be taken to the floor under the penthouse.
I see. All right. Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay. Well, then, access to the basement from parking lot is possible. I'll need to go greet some.
Mm-hmm. And as he gestures, to say goodbye, he looks behind your car and does sort of a greeting as well and walks away. And as you look behind your car, you see Abel's van rocking up.
I see. I see. Okay. Well, then we all go in.
Mm-hmm. You park your cars. Jack, do you do the thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually told Jack, like, let's go fetch then Schlacht and stuff from the.
Well, Jack basically, before you do that, takes his phone, seems to call a number, and without waiting to hear anything, he just puts his phone back in his pocket. And as you look around, you notice that there's a camera in the corner right near the elevator, and the blinking red light turns off.
I see. Okay. Then I guess we should fetch Virgil from the sewers. That makes it easier to get the rest of the Schlachter up to.
Yes. You have 15 minutes.
Okay, I'm gonna go and quickly go fetch Virgil and the rest.
Mm-hmm. So, first, because the instructions to access the basement level are at the penthouse itself, all of you get in the sewers, along with Abel, who joins you.
Yeah.
Jack, what do you do?
I will get into the penthouse to get the instructions to get to the sewers.
Okay, so describe what you do in the elevator.
Oh, I press the numbers 17, 2, 6, 5.
And as he does, there's a ding sound, and all the buttons light up for a moment, and the elevator begins to rise. And at some point, it reaches the top level. The doors open, and you are greeted with a very sturdy door for which Jack already has a key.
Do I
And
recognize the numbers, or is it just like basic safety?
it's basic safety. If there was a pattern to it, it would be easier to crack. That's the point.
Maybe like important numbers. Like if you don't know the reason, there are none. There is none.
None that you would know. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
So you approach the door, you use the key, and opening it up, the place is absolutely lavish. It's a large, large penthouse. It has 2 floors. And on the first floor, you do have, very nice accommodations. There's a lobby area. There is an area essentially meant for it to serve as a bar. But if you open one of the wine cabinets, you notice it's not wine in there. You have a second floor with, plenty of bedrooms, a nice area to watch TV, a nice area to play pool. You even have, like, in the bathroom, a general bathroom area with a shower, and in the second bathroom you have included essentially a small jacuzzi. So it's like really, really lavish, really high-end stuff. And as you explore the penthouse, on the table there is a sheet of paper folded with a J written on it. And opening it up, there is a set of instructions of how to access the basement, which is, let me check my notes, to hold the first floor, and then press the same code you got to access the main penthouse itself.
If there are any other instructions, I'll also memorize them.
And yeah, do you immediately go to the basement?
I burn the paper and then I go to basement.
Okay. So you begin going to the basement. I'm assuming Serena joins you.
She's probably
yes.
in the basement.
Yeah, I'd be already in the sewers picking
Okay.
up the.
Well, that's the point. To access the basement, you need this code. So
Yeah,
you'd
but
basically
I'll be
go
waiting
together.
there. Okay, fine.
Yeah, so you head down the elevator, and eventually reaching the basement level, the door opens, and essentially it's a not very nice looking concrete area with no doors, and just one sewer entrance that looks very old, with a padlock on it.
I see. Okay then. Well, I look at Jack. Being like,
Do I
you
have
got
a
the
key?
key or a code to the padlock?
Do I?
Well, you could try the same key that you had in the that you used to get in the apartment.
I will.
Yep, and it works.
Carefully though.
Yes. And the key works, the padlock opens, and you're able to just flip the sewer lid open. And you see a ladder just going straight down.
I whistle.
Yep. And soon after, you hear Virgil essentially herding the Schlachte up the ladder. They climb up very begrudgingly.
Also, albeit this is a legit horror show for most other vampires and definitely all humans. For Serena, it's like, it's like their big brother is herding these little pups up. For Serena, it's like a true metamorphosis. She's like,
Yep. And as the 2 Schlachte hop up to the floor, eventually Virgil joins them, and you see this smoke stopping emanating from, like, sort of fading away from him. And as he makes his way up, you notice that his arms are covered in bites.
What's your hand? You're a slachter.
Yeah, they take a bit to get used to, but I think we're on... Well, we have an understanding. I wouldn't say we're on good terms.
Okay, well, let's get up to the penthouse and I'll feed you some blood.
Yeah,
So
please.
you can recover.
Please.
And as we get back into the elevator, I also turn to Jack. So obviously all of us will need to be able to access it. Like, I mean, Larry is the one who doesn't need any of the keys or the codes. But I'd also like to have Virgil, the code, just in case he needs to get out of the penthouse.
I will give it to him. I will come up with a way to make it so he subconsciously know it.
Okay.
Right.
So it can't be really easily taken away from him.
Yes.
We'll say that you do this on the way up.
Yeah.
So basically, they need to be able to have like key or whatever. Well, another option is that I make a. Well, technically, can I see the key for the penthouse and the lock that Jack has?
Well, the key is essentially one of those four-sided, keys that sort of looks like a screw.
Yeah. But no, what I mean is when I look at it, like I also, when we get up to the penthouse, I want to try using it, so to say. And what I'm checking is basically how much pressure do you need to use, because my idea is that for me and for Virgil, what I can have is actually, like for myself, I can literally have like the key in my bone and potentially like make something like that for Virgil too, because then that key cannot be like lost or stolen, really.
Yeah, the pressure is not a lot. The lock is more a convenience than anything.
Yeah, so basically it should be...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And you get in to rejoin Larry and Abel, who have been waiting this entire time.
Well then, a bit more difficult to get in, but Jack will fill you all in on how to do it. Now on to... Before we get to the order of business, Abel, how are you?
Good evening. Oh, well, I guess I'm as good as ever.
How's your mission?
Well, there's a lot to do and not enough time for everything. I've been wanting to look into the whereabouts of
Jesus?
Jesus, but
Yeah, that's something... So that's something that I've also been looking... Actually, while it's going on, let me quickly just double check something. And Serena takes out a pretty large map of LA. Well, basically like the map of LA. It's actually not a large one. It's like probably the smallest map of LA you've seen her own. And since you know her methodics, you would probably guess that she's not planning to exactly divine anybody's location, but rather she's going to see whether anybody is currently in town. And I'm going to make my roll for tracking Jesus.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 successes to divide, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 successes to interpret. Basically, I'm just waiting for a ping. This map is not something that I can basically divine a location accurately at, because it's too small for it.
And you're trying to locate Jesus.
Yeah, so basically it's a map of LA that's relatively small enough so that when the pendulum is doing like the circle, like as in like detecting, like trying to pin down on somewhere, it's going to basically be covering it pretty much entirely. So the idea is that
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh
No. Damn you,
Droppo.
technocracy.
She's gone.
Oh no.
This is how the void eats people.
No, it's Malkavian network.
frozen again.
Yeah. One moment. Technical difficulties. In the meantime, while this ritual is going on, what are the rest of you doing?
I feel like this is what Serena felt when Malkavian network cut off.
If I was able
Just-
to implant like knowledge of the codes into okay, we're gonna get smacked by Discord shifting stuff because
It's
James is
okay. It's
connected.
okay. Just my camera is messed up. Sorry,
Yeah.
folks. You're gonna have to deal with
If I
half
was
of my
able-
face for a while.
Yeah,
able
less
to
of
implant-
Miguel to see. Congratulations.
If I was able to implant knowledge of how to get in and out into Virgil's mind without like it being on the surface,
Mm-hmm.
so it would need some time to dig up.
Okay.
Consciously, he doesn't know it. I will do the same for Abel and Larry.
Okay. So yeah, you make a mesmerize roll.
It's not even mesmerize. It's probably memory forgetful mind
Sure.
in reverse.
Sure.
Mm,
I mean, forgetful mind allows you to edit memories too. So yeah.
mm-hmm. With subterfuge, which is 5. I obviously explained what I'm gonna do, so they wouldn't resist me. Hello.
Yeah, that's enough.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's like every time my Discord pulls updates and breaks during our session.
It's okay. It's okay. We're back on track. But first, so Jack,
Yes.
you managed to get that information nice and settled in the back of Virgil's mind, and it's not even like he rationally remembers it. It's more like the emotions attached to that, to some memories, sort of indicate that feeling. And
So it's more like force of habit for him to
yeah,
know how to get
sort of
something.
muscle memory, more like.
Mhm.
So what is Larry or Abel doing while Serena is performing this locating ritual?
Larry is viciously metagaming and typing in his T-chat.
Okay.
So
Abel?
is Abel.
No, I see.
Nice.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
we are all on contact with God.
okay, so as Larry and Abel seem to be staring into the void, doing nothing. Serena,
The
as
child of void
you
is
Yeah.
staring back at them.
as you try to detect Jesus, you don't get anything at first. And then right as you're about to give up, you get like sort of almost a snap into place, as if you weren't getting anything before and all of a sudden you started getting something.
Right. It seems he has come into town. I'm gonna take a bigger map, and I'm gonna have to stay here. You're gonna have to ambush him. I don't know how much time we have.
Then let's fucking move.
So Serena gets out her like usual tracking map, right? And starts doing the tracking. And straight up, she basically places her phone next to her and starts like a group call with the
Yeah.
rest.
And as you
get in a car so we can drive you there.
well, I won't even have you roll for it. As you start doing this, you are starting to get a location and then you lose it.
We are being fucked with, aren't we?
Hmm. How about I do it actually a bit maybe differently? I don't know if it'll work, but it sort of worked with the death houses, but death houses did sort of have a signature. But this is divination, so who am I to ask how this works? And Serena starts the divination, and what she's concentrating on is next. So Marcus has been telling her that one of his business is being fucked with.
Mm-hmm.
So she's basically sort of trying to do like, so you know, like with divination cards, she also asks about the future, right? But she's doing that with the pendulum, like basically next location, Jesus is like, or rather, a location Jesus, like basically Marcus's business that Jesus is going to strike next.
Okay,
Because
you can try.
yeah.
You can roll for it. I won't tell
Mhm.
you if you succeeded or
1, 2,
failed
3,
exactly. I'll just tell you
4,
what the
5,
result of this try is.
6,
Okay.
7. Well, my lowest is 7, then I have 1 8, and then I have 3 9s and 1 10. So even if we like, you know, that's to divine. And I got successes to interpret too.
Right. So as you attempt to divine this, you begin getting a location, but it's going to take a very long time for you to lock into it, because the pendulum method, as you know, takes a while to sort of narrow down a location. Yeah, it's going to take a bit, but you seem to be getting something.
In the meanwhile, so I'm trying something new. I'm sort of mixing like what I do with the tarot with the pendulum. Perhaps I'll still need to like do better. Maybe play around with the ritual I was developing. Actually, I've developed one that can basically tell us how many guests to expect at a given location, which could be useful with our new haven, so to say. But another thing which I wanted to do, and now that Abel is here, is I wish to visit the Griffith Park. There is an elder who is skilled in a magic that I wish to learn there. Unaligned with sects.
Our track record with an aligned mages is iffy.
No, that is. Look, she's more like a coldoon, if anything. This path that I'm studying is about spirits in the plant life.
Problem is,
It's
or
werewolf
are-
territory,
yes,
I'm aware. Well, Titus managed to get away from it, but he did have celerity.
He was gangrel.
I mean, he used a bit of obfuscate and celerity, both of which I have better than his.
Only you.
That is true. Well, here's the thing. So,
And I don't feel like being haunted by Cecil's ghost if you die there.
well, I had another idea, but that would require us to split our attempts, right? With you and Abel, I would then send basically to talk with Marcus. He did speak of problems in some of his locations, and you could basically go and investigate. That could be a way to track down Jesus, or maybe see a pattern, maybe what he's gonna strike next, right?
Do you have enough of his old attacks?
Marcus can provide you that. My ghoul.
Yeah. We
So
can try
here-
to get the fucking pattern even without Marcus.
Well,
if we need replaces.
basically go visit for him, get all the information needed, and investigate the areas. And Larry, I would take with me to Griffith Park. What I would... I know that the lady should be somewhere near the largest tree, somewhere in the middle of it. I was thinking that we could basically... You could fly in me there, lower me enough so I can jump down on the tree, and then I make my case. Given the fact that the lady lives there and is unbothered, I don't think the werewolves will be much of my problems when I'm down there. And when I need to leave, I'll basically get back up, and I would basically, like, either I call you as I'm getting up to the trees, and you come down and pick me back up. What do you think? You'd also have the advantage of being at a, at a height, and if you see that something from above, that there's something approaching, you could let me know. We could have maybe I'm going to wear like a headset, and we could have like an open call. If not, when you land me, and you go back up, before you go, basically hide yourself. Maybe show to me whereabouts you're going to be, so to say, keeping yourself, because at the very least, if we're not able to communicate with the phone, I'll be able to reach you telepathically, but only if I sort of know where you are. What do you think?
Convoluted way to die.
Huh? Look,
but I think it's very convoluted way to die.
Look, I am faster than Titus. I'm better at hiding myself. And I have powers that work without coming close to anyone.
And yet, it probably would be my fucking ass getting haunted by Cecil. If you die there.
Look, if I'm not being haunted by him, I hardly doubt you'd get.
Name me one reason you would be haunted.
Because he knows I would want to see him.
No, like in bad way haunted.
Oh, so that will be... If you're gonna get that will be just your guilty consciousness.
Okay, I see.
Either way, look.
Okay,
we need
one more
we
motivation
need that.
for you not to die. The books.
Yes, fair. But either way, look. In all my experience, not a single time has anyone spied on me thanks to a houseplant. Do you get my drift?
Yeah.
Whatever this power is, it's pretty niche. And whatever that night protected us from the blood feast, bloodbath. So actually, did the bloodbath even happen because there was like such a fucking murder?
It did happen, and most people weren't even aware of what happened to Cecil.
I see. But yeah, either way, look, that ritual that Jalan did was definitely from from this group of people. And they're not exactly Austrian Tremere, okay? It's pagan, it's old, and that means it's unlikely that it's very known by others.
You know my stance. If you die, you don't get to read my books.
That is a threat, and don't worry, that's sort of like, you see Serena wants to say, I guess that's reason enough to return, but then flash of emotion goes across her face and she's like, Yes, I know. It's like she wanted to jest, but then she remembered the fact that lays over all of our heads, and then like, yeah, I guess. Either way, it's a fighting chance. By the way, did you find out anything about meeting the twins from the
Miguel.
Cami contact?
Things stand as they've stood in the past. It's something he's working on, but it's not established
Okay,
just yet.
well, I wouldn't, given the fact that we're probably like people who are like very likely to be watched. I don't want to air that thing yet. By the way, Abel, where are you currently spending most of your time? Still in Anarch territory?
Well, here and there, in Anak territory, and also further north.
Basically, my question was, so you were the only one who got away from that spirit watchers from Delmont, because you never got the mark. Have you been wearing your ring every now and then?
I'm now always wearing it.
Okay, and have there been ghosts following you?
Not that I've noticed.
Okay, well, we've had quite a few run-ins. Last week, me and Jack were harassed by a shade. And, well, there was also the case of that whole thing where we had to chop off our arms to get rid of that mark. I was wondering if it was possible maybe to borrow the ring for all, like, me and Jack, so that we just check how much there's, eyes on us.
Fine,
Look,
I'll be.
Shan-
I'm fine without it.
it's temporary, but it's just that if we have hopefully we'll just like when we raid Delmont's shop, we'll find a few more items like that. After we kill him, But yeah. I won't be taking it today. Let's actually today you're with Jack, so you can keep an eye out. Afterwards, you can give it first to Jack, so that he wears it for like a week, sees if there's tails, watchers. After that, I'll wear it a week, see how it is. But yeah, today you can still wear it, since you're used to it. Keep an eye out.
Serena, at this point, the ritual you've been engaging in, it eventually locks into not an address, but a street, at least.
So I give the street name to Jack and Abel and say, I'll contact Marcus about you coming over to help with Jesus to gather information and ask him about this street. It's supposed... actually, I'll call Marcus first to let him know it's quicker. Okay?
Okay, well, phone rings. Eventually, you hear a click. Yeah, boss.
Hello. So, I'll be sending over Jack and Abel to gather information. So you said that you suspected that Jesus have been fucking about with your operations?
Yeah, had a few other attacks. Why?
Yes. So first of all, they're gonna gather some information to see that how we can like basically put together an image. He's a slithery bastard, so to say. But this, and Serena says the street name. Do you have any business there? Any
I mean, we have a
meetups?
storehouse, but it's pretty covert.
Well,
I doubt he knows
yeah.
about it. It's pretty
Well,
recent.
It's pretty recent. Okay, well, make it more secure today, and I'll send. I don't know when he's going to be interested in it or how, but I know it's somehow on the target. I'll send Jack and Abel to the location if you share with me, but afterwards, tell them where you can meet them so that they can gather the rest of the information. But according to my site, that is a location of interest for
You
him.
sure you wanna send your people there, boss?
Why?
Well, it's in Santa Monica, and Santa Monica right now is essentially a war zone. A lot of U-types, if you get my meaning.
Yeah, I get it.
Walking around and, you know,
Yes, but we need
slaughtering
him.
each other.
Yes, we need him though. I mean, Sabbat is attacking that territory, so it won't be too off. Maybe then to keep the target off your back before they arrive, you maybe
How about this, boss?
yeah.
How about we don't have a lot of merch at that storehouse right now.
Mhm.
It's mainly a place we're setting up our people, starting to establish.
Mhm. Mhm.
If he is actually planning on, raiding that area, what I can do.
Also, you know that Jesus is your R-type now.
Well, I'm
I've told you
aware.
that.
I'm aware,
Yeah, okay.
and what I can do is set up an ambush and remove all the merch we got there from it. That way, when he does show up, he has nothing to destroy, and I can have a bunch of
Okay.
expendables waiting for him. You don't need to
Okay.
send anyone there and risk your hides. And I can't, I don't need to risk anything of our businesses.
Yes, but then I've just actually had a thought. Because Jesus is of your type, of our type. And given the crowd he's working about, those locations that have been fucked around with, I want my people to talk with your employees, people connected to those operations, but make it quiet. They'll be able to tell if any of them have been compromised in ways that you wouldn't be able to detect.
Well, I suppose a talk can be held, but, I mean, you feel like holding a seance?
A seance.
Well, yeah,
On whether.
everyone related to those businesses is dead. It's one of the reasons why it's hurting so much.
I
It's because
see.
the people who manage those businesses
Wait.
aren't around to manage them anymore.
Wait, but what about higher from them? People who are on a higher level from them?
You're talking to them.
Okay.
He's been after my generals.
And he knows all of them.
Well, yeah, they used to be his.
Didn't you tell him to transfer all of his stuff to your group?
Okay, well then, that's gonna be easier. Do you have which of those generals were you planning to put into that location?
Well, I got a couple left. I was debating which one was going to take over. They're currently competing for the territory.
Okay, so here's the deal.
I was planning on putting them there next week, though.
But are they always decapitated, the people who are left?
As far as I can tell. I mean, unless they are not there anymore. Hard to tell who's who.
Yes, that's my point exactly. So, your generals, the ones that used to be his, I'll send Jack and Abel over to you, and let them have a talk with those that still remain.
Sure.
Basically, whatever is his side of operation, remember he knows their faces, and potentially he could have learned some tricks from his new friends, so you wouldn't be able to tell when it's those tricks. Jack and Abel will be.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Basically,
Just
they'll be coming over to you. Just send me the location and address, and they'll be visiting because I'm going into a bit more dangerous situation, so I won't be available.
okay. Do you need any backup?
No, not really. It's a bit more G.I. Joe, and backup is going to make me only slower.
All right. Any gear I can offer? But just don't get yourself killed, yeah?
Well, do you have any guns that can shoot silver bullets? Or do you have silver bullets?
Not handy, but I can arrange for some. Might take a while, though.
Well, that's a point. We don't really have that much time, so I'll trust my legs and my other skills.
Okay. I guess.
Either way, I do have a backup that can basically lift me out of the situation. So, it's fine.
All right. Well, just be safe. I'll send you a text with the location of the generals once that's established. But count on them only later tonight, if not tomorrow.
Okay. Okay. And send me the location also of the Santa Monica thing, because technically I do have somebody who can go there, in a sense.
Sure.
Okay, so I put this down. Right then, so
Sleeping with
that-
an enemy, are we? Well, not sleeping.
well, it did say that Jesus is sort of with the Anarchs, but not really. And given
And
his
you wanna
given his
ask twins to check the
No.
location.
No, absolutely not, because then the location is going to be that's sort of like where my guy is reaching in. So here's the thing. So what he's taken out is his own past generals. So either he has trackers on them, or he has somebody from the inside helping him.
Out of question,
given
am
the
I
fact-
to assume that the call's over?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's not privy to this information. Got it.
No. So my idea is that perhaps some of them could have been bloodbound. He could have learned tips like dominate and so on. Either way, all of those things are not something that Marcus is going to be able to detect. Or no. You guys, though, will be able.
That much is true.
So he's going to send some information about the remaining generals of Jesus that you should basically check, and his employees. And this, she shows the location, is basically a new merchandise place they're setting up in Santa Monica that supposedly Jesus is going to be in. Now, this is in Santa Monica, and I don't know if his interest is for tonight or not. Potentially. What he said is that each location that was hit had one of his old people. Now, the thing is, he did also say that it's really hard to identify them, so I don't know if they're even get killed, or if there's somebody just left in their stead. Similar enough, without a head, who's gonna know?
Did I hear you mention that the bodies that Jesus seems to be leaving
Are headless most of the time. Well, basically, they're difficult to identify.
Yes, so could there be a possibility that he is
Not killing.
reclaiming his generals?
Potentially. Actually, and I'm going to also actually send to Marcus a text. Also, can you send me pictures of those killed generals, if you have any? Just going to check one bad potentiality, whether it's true or not. Not tonight, but basically, I asked him to send me some, if he has any pictures of them.
He responds with a thumbs up and
Cool.
1 sec.
Well, yes, it is a potential possibility. But it's also a possibility that whoever's currently is also helping him. They could be dominated, bloodbound, whatever, you know? That's the point. I don't think Jesus would have been given the, so to say, the permission by either the Anarchs or the other ones. But, you know, it's good to check. Either way, it would be good to know if he's anywhere near. My question is, how close is this to Jeanette? He could be turning them, he could be not. Either way, he'll send you a list of the remaining generals. Check if any of them are bloodbound or whatever, had contact with Jesus, are under dominate, etc. Checking whether any of those generals are still alive, bloodbound or not, is going to take some time, and I'll have to do it when I return.
Very well.
Because, right, Miguel? Even like just to check if there's a ping on LA map, it's gonna take time to check all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
So I'd be
takes
doing that
you
later.
to get an exact location. It takes you about an hour to
Not
get
exact.
to get even a ping. It takes you about 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Yeah. So it's basically.
It's gonna be at least half an hour.
Yeah.
I'm
So.
driving.
Yeah. So, and I'd rather get.
I'll also point out the contacts of the remaining generals. The earliest time you were given was later tonight, as in at the end of the night.
So you'll be giving out the contacts later tonight. I guess.
We get it, Mom. We are not kids.
Yeah. Well, I guess then I could first. How many pictures of generals did he send?
He hasn't sent them yet.
Okay.
She might know at least how many locations have been attacked.
Well, if you ask, the response will be 5.
And 5 generals. Okay, so that's half an hour.
At least.
Well, half an hour just to see if there's a ping or not.
And
If there's a.
not, you don't know if they're alive.
Well, if there's no ping, they're most likely dead.
Or in Shadowlands.
Well, that is assuming. Well, here's another thing that I think. What if Jesus is hanging out with the Anarchs and boistering them with their own ranks?
What if?
Well, either way, are you gonna go
Yes.
research that? Okay, well, research the location.
Also, we should try one thing next time. That I create the map out of my shadow. Maybe kinda assume Shadowlands.
Oh.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Give it to the child of abuse to fuck it up.
Maybe we could make something. I mean, we could spend some time playing around with it during the week.
That will take time.
Yes, but I mean, I already had an interesting, how to say, ritual, like, say, semi in development. We could see and try to combine. But look, the night is burning up, and I suggest you go check Santa Monica discreetly. Abel, you're in good terms with Anarchs, right? With some of them?
Well, sort of. I wouldn't say that I'm the main man.
Okay.
Now, let's be real. It takes some effort to be in bad standings with Isaac.
Yeah. So, I can also, just in case you fall on into like reach a dead end. Once you're out of Santa Monica, and Serena gives you a phone number. This is a phone number of the twins, just basically greet her politely, ask if it's Therese and not Jeanette, or whether it matters or not. But here's my issue. Maybe it's better that I contact her first. But I was thinking that she's not probably going to enjoy that there's some fucking traitor ass playing his own game. But I don't know if it's a good idea to contact for you guys, or if it's best for me. She did want to speak with
We'll
me and
figure it
Cecil.
out.
Either way, if you run into any problems... If you run into Therese by any chance, try and
We'll figure
basically...
it out.
No, what I mean? Don't aggravate and say that I'll be in say that I'll be in contact and that you're basically cleaning up some of our mess, who might be pulling some shit in her. And say that the pack priest Serena will be in contact with her.
See, you listen to your grandsire. Or grandsire. They told you to learn the art of deception. Because that's the name of the game. Remember?
I do. What I mean is that A, she might already know about Abel. B, I don't need to aggravate her before we enter or do not enter a deal. But before we do anything with that, I need to know that Jesus is not listening into everything. So basically...
We will get it.
But if you do get into trouble with her, basically
We
just...
won't.
Either way, let's go and get our business done.
Let us.
Can we do Serena and Larry after the Abel and Jack?
Sure. Right, so first it's Abel and Jack going to Santa Monica, correct? Is the call to is the call to Therese happening before you guys leave or after?
So, actually, can Serena draw a card? Basically, what's best? So she's in two minds about calling Therese, as in, will it hinder their investigation or work with it? Because, there's all kinds of way it can go wrong. So can she just draw a card, basically, whether to call her or not?
Yeah. Roll for
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 successes to divine, 1 success to interpret.
Okay. And can you place a concrete question, please?
So, basically the question is, would it be better for Jack and Abel's mission for me to call Therese first and, basically ask her not to interfere?
So, you shuffle the deck, keeping this question in mind, and you draw the card. You're greeted by the image of a person dressed in robes, a woman who's very well dressed, with a decoration around her neck and a crown on her head that creates a very strong silhouette against the sun that shines behind her. And this woman is holding 2 staves, one at each side, with a field of flowers below her. And you draw the Queen of Wands upright.
Queen of Wands, Queen of Wands. Okay. Have some courage. Be charismatic. Okay, right. I'll give her a ring. Or should I call? Is it
If you want, I can call.
She
Explain the
wanted to speak
situation.
with Ductus and me. And last
I
time we
can
left her
explain the situation.
Jack, last time we left her waiting an answer. She's a Malkavian, okay? I'll call my clan member, okay?
You do you.
And I'm going to go to another room and give Therese a ring.
Okay. So you ring the number. It rings, and after a few moments, it clicks, and you hear a voice on the other end. So, finally, you've considered my proposal and are ready to give me an answer. Is that it?
Well, yes, and yes, I have. Now, we will be needing a personal meeting for it, but I have a suspicion, a pretty big suspicion, that potentially a loose end of ours, the trader, might be operating and potentially pretending to be Anarch. Now, funny thing is, he's not exactly Anarch and not really Sabbat and not Camarilla either, way worse. But we can talk about it later. Thing is, I need to send a couple of my packmates to see if they can catch the man in action. Or maybe you have seen him snooping about. And I describe him to him, to the guy sort of like in vague terms to her. See, that person might put a wrench in all of our plans. I can't really say in detail why, but let's just say it's very related to the quiet and the cobweb, a bit before.
So you're telling me that a clan-wide event might be caused by one person?
And Serena's like, well, that event wasn't caused by him. I'm saying that the information that was shared before the quiet happened is related, but I'd like not to get you and your, so to say, players and people involved in it because I don't yet know exactly how far they reach. And problem is, those people are going to play really bad against both my plans and your plans.
I hear you. However, unfortunately, I can't really divert my forces from any areas
I don't
as
want.
sent.
No. What I mean is they're going to come and investigate a location. And they're not going to cause any trouble, not going to pick with your people. I'm just warning you because it's polite, Because that person, given his new friends, needs to be taken care of for us to be able to work with, because we'll be organizing a meeting soon enough in a discreet way so that nobody overhears it. But that person, especially if my suspicions are true and he might be hiding among your own new embraces, it would be good to basically catch him and find out whatever else he knows.
Best I can offer you is that I'll attempt to make sure that the fact that you are sending Sabbat members to my territory remains a secret.
Two.
That's all I can do. I cannot divert forces from the area. So if they are spotted, I can't stop anyone from trying to dispose of them.
Okay.
Because if
Understood?
I did,
Yes,
I hope you
exactly.
realize.
I know, but that's exactly also why I don't want you to going after him, because then his new friends might know what we two are gonna be planning. Okay?
Well,
and
do what you must.
As a show of my appreciation of our future plan, that event, clan-wide, what triggered that event the information that was uploaded by me.
Hmm.
And as far as I could divine, the reaction was caused by somebody who was involved with those people I dare not name.
Understood.
That's... So, basically, don't trust anyone. Or rather suspect players. When we meet in person, I'll divulge some more things that we can...
Don't worry, I am thoroughly aware of the unspoken rule of our kind.
Either way, we're in the process. I'll be seeing you soon.
I hope you don't die.
I'll try not to.
I'm sure you will. And you hear a click.
Right, so she won't send anybody after. She can't really divert the forces from where they are. After Syria basically comes back. She can't really divert the forces from where they are. All she can do is basically, see and try to keep it a secret. So if you are noticed by someone, expect that they might try to, get rid of you. So be careful. Sewers, whatever, take precautions. Get out safe.
Yes.
Just to verify,
Yeah,
Sabbat is no longer interested in Santa Monica.
we are. We are getting Santa Monica.
Why are we so friendly with the
Because-
Baron?
Well, because Therese wants Strauss's head, and we want Strauss's head. Therese is willing to give up Santa Monica. And Therese, according to what I've divined, is not involved with those guys that killed our doctors. Do you see what I mean?
All right.
So, we know that eventually if we come to a amicable partnership in this specific, afterwards we'll be back to being enemies, most likely. Well, absolutely. But let's just say that Therese Warman is more preferable to Strauss, in a sense.
And what about Jeanette? There are two of them.
Doesn't really matter, in a sense.
Kinda matters what's going on in that head of theirs.
Well, we'll see. Either way, I have asked the cards this question. And at least going together with Jeanette in this business partnership is beneficial to us. What we do need to ensure is out of this partnership, Ruark doesn't find out, because they are trying to blame it all on Camarilla, so partnership with Therese Jeanette, we could twist it. Understood? That's why we need to know if Jesus is building an embraced general gang of his in the Anarchs in Santa Monica. That's why we need to know what's going on there, because it will be really bad if once we start doing that, we're going to be basically be accused of being the ones who caused Cecil's death. You see my point?
Mm-hmm.
So yes, all she can promise is that she's not going to move the forces into that area. But if they're going to move there because of battle, nothing she can do about it.
As I said, Mom, we are not kids.
Good. Right then, let's go. And Serena's like, Larry, pick me up.
I just imagine Serena goes up to Larry.
Well, actually, Serena is not... Yeah, but funnily enough, Serena is actually about, Larry is 2.2, Serena is 1.8 or 9. It's not much difference.
You're small 40
Yeah, but it's
centimeters,
like...
40
It's full fucking
centimeters,
hat
you're
of
small.
difference.
Yeah, but compared to the rest of you...
compared to the rest of us, it's this much give or take.
Either way, yeah.
We're not playing dwarves.
Okay.
Serena just
Wow.
turns into a box of tiramisu.
So yeah, Larry prepares to take flight, and Jack and Abel begin to make their way out. And we're going to take a very short break and return to see how the plans are going. See you soon.
See.